IVM.
Hi, I'm Zarina Poonawalla, your peak performance coach, life coach, emotional intelligence practitioner, and NLP practitioner. I'm also the founder of Abzo Expertise Unique, and my organization constantly aims at building leaders across continents. After having worked with so many dynamic business honchos, entrepreneurs, startups, CEOs, management gurus, parents, and student communities worldwide, I am convinced that every individual has unleashed potential, and all we really need to do is realize it. Watch the magic unfold, enhance quality of life, relationships, and professions. On my show, be ready for some riveting conversations with inspirational people, snippets, stories, and much more. So here I am on this exceptional journey to find empowerment and inspiration anywhere I can. Come join me on this breathtaking path of self-realization, potential maximization, positivity, and most of all, embrace your inner power. You are on your way to empowering yourselves. Welcome to the Empowering Series with Zarina Poonawalla. There is an exceptional story on how the word Ubuntu came into being and what it really means. Do you know what Ubuntu means? Well, let me elaborate the story behind that name. An anthropologist who was researching and studying cultural practices and traditions of an African tribe often found himself surrounded by children of the tribe. So he decided to have some fun with them and keep them entertained with a game. He went to the closest store in town and purchased candies. And when he came back, he made a nice basket full of candies and placed it at the foot of a very large village tree. Then he called the children and asked if they were ready to play a game. Of course, the kids were all excited and eager. And the researcher said, "Very well then, here is the game. All of you must run towards the tree, and the one to get there first could have all the candies, all by themselves. All the candies for just the one person who makes it to the tree first." The children were all excited, lined up and waiting for the signal. So when the man said, "On your mark, get set, go," all the children took each other by the hand and ran together towards the tree. They all reached the touch point at the same time and divided the candies amongst themselves, sat down in a circle and started to enjoy their winnings. The researcher was quite astonished as he didn't expect this outcome. He went up to the kids and asked, "Why did you all run together when one of you could have won all those candies?" The children, very innocently, responded, "Ubuntu. How could any of us be happy if all the others were sad?" Ubuntu is a philosophy of African tribes that can be summed up as "I am what I am because of who we all are." In fact, Nelson Mandela, South Africa's first democratically elected president, in the book Mandela's Way, 15 Lessons on Life, Love and Courage in 2009, encapsulated the many interpretations by calling Ubuntu an African concept that means the profound sense that we are human only through the humanity of others. Isn't that beautiful? That if we are to accomplish anything in this world, it will in equal measure be due to the work and achievements of others, as very many African leaders and in fact torchbearers of the world have believed and highlighted. This concept is revolutionary. Even African activist Bishop Desmond Tutu in 2008 emphasized on the importance of Ubuntu. One of the most striking parts of his speech was, and I quote, "You can't be human all by yourself. And when you have this quality, Ubuntu, you are known for your generosity. We think of ourselves far too frequently as just individuals, separated from one another, whereas you are connected and what you do affects the whole world. When I dehumanize you, I dehumanize myself. And in today's world, what more than humanity? What more than being there for each other? What more than making sure that no one is sad alone? So to all of you out there who may be in pain and despair, I am because we are. Be safe, be well, be empowered.
If you liked this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I want to remind our Tamil-speaking audience about the new show from Kadai Podcast. The previous season was Punyan Selvan. The new show that we're doing is Sivakamyan Sabata. Kavita Jiva is the host of the show. Basically, what she does is she retells these old classics in a modern idiom. I think you'll really enjoy that. Quickly running through some of the other guests that we had this week. Luke Catino showed up on Cyrus Says, where he and Cyrus had a great conversation about fitness and all things related to that. Rahul Dakuna was on Gauri Devi Dayal's show. This round's on me. Again, great conversation around brands and things like that. Mahrukh Inayat had Kaveri Banzai on her show to discuss Sushant Singh Rajput's death and the effect it's going to have on Bollywood as it goes forward. Archana Vora, who is a director of small and medium businesses at Facebook, she was on Advertising is Dead talking about the kinds of work that Facebook is doing with smaller businesses. And remember, Edges and Sledges continues its fan series. Do definitely check that out. And last, one final thing, that Cock and Bull this week was really interesting. Cyrus, Kunal Vijayakar, Gauri Devi Dayal and myself spoke quite a bit about the restaurant industry and the challenges that they're facing in this pandemic. So do definitely check that out. I think you'll enjoy that. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
Entertainment is like food for the brain. It's a window to culture and a great way to understand the world around us. The internet has changed what it means to be an entertainer, creating new storytellers with millions of fans. It has spawned a new breed, the story-sellers, those behind the scenes creating the business for this ecosystem. They work with brands, platforms and channels who are keen to capitalize on an audience hungrier than ever for more stories. I'm Vineet Kanabar and I have a ringside view to how stories are told and sold. On my show, I bring you creators, artists, executives and marketers for a freewheeling conversation around the business of entertainment. Tune in to Storytellers and Storysellers for personal stories, analysis and criticism every Thursdays as I talk to the brightest minds telling or selling great stories today.